All right, guys, we are here today. Ugh. Nvidia got close to lifetime highs yesterday. It didn't quite break it. Today we have durable good orders at 8:30. And then tomorrow, we also have GameStop earnings today. We got to drop some of the news yesterday. What's up, Jojo, Armand, Joseph, Beach, Pawn? What's up, chat? All right. All right, we're here. Yeah, so yeah, so you see, I built this reversal indicator on toss, and I'm telling you, man, like, I've tested it. It's not bad. It's not bad. I don't want you guys to copy me. Please don't copy this. Again, I don't know. But like, you can see how it calls the bottom. Like, look at that. It called the bottom right there. The bottom of all of yesterday. Same thing. It did the same thing here. And then we got a nice little pop. So I like it. I think it works pretty solid. You know. It doesn't repaint that I know of either. This one was wrong. I guess this one was wrong too. So it looks like there's still more testing to be done. But yeah. That one was right. Look at that. Called the bottom. Called the bottom there. That one's not perfect though. Called the bottom there. I think on a 5-minute chart it might be better. Let's see. Yeah. So here's the bottom. We did get that reversal. It might show up less on a 5-minute chart just based off of the programmings. Yeah, so look. There's another bottom call. Like there's another one. So yeah, the 5-minute chart, it works way better. So yeah, it worked every time on the 5-minute chart. All of them worked. 1-minute chart was a little, and 1-minute charts are like that. Regardless of what you're doing, 1-minute charts are gonna be a little sketchy. What's up, Too Fast? K. What's up, Ro? Is Tesla moving? Tesla's back up again, man. Hey, you love to see it. Yeah, time heals a lot of wounds in stocks. PayPal, my PayPal trade's still going great. I'm still in at 51.40s. So, Tyson Foods, still green on it, pretty green on it. Walgreens, we're still red. Exxon, we're still making money, so. What's up, Matt? I'm about to gamble on DWAC and Reddit. Where's Reddit doing? I haven't even looked at Reddit. I haven't been following it that much. Reddit, man, wow. And again, speaking about my reversal indicator, we got it on this middle chart. Look. So I programmed this using AI to help me. But like, look. Look at that. The reversal alert came in here. And then, boom. I'll have to keep building it. It looks like these settings work. If I could maybe add them to some other conditions, it could even be more accurate. It's not going to show up all the time, and that's okay. But yeah. You have to keep playing with it. Yeah, look here again. Reversal. Boom. Not too shabby. We'll have to keep messing with it. But yeah, Reddit's flying up. Nvidia up to almost 960s here. You know, the lifetime high is 974, so we're not that far away from Nvidia lifetime highs. It's not super abnormal. Chipotle's not really. Chipotle's not really super abnormal. It's more so just low float. It's a low float stock. They opted to go for a low float in a big expensive price than a high float in a less expensive price. You know, so they're just a low float stock, right? So they're going to move more volatile. They are going to be more expensive because they have to, you know, they have to compensate for not having that many shares out there, is what it is. Hey, nice. Are you going to make it available after fine-tuning it? Maybe. I don't know. Probably not, but I don't know. Like, we're just playing with it right now. You know, we're just playing with it. Abercrombie. Bro, A and F is kind of crazy, man. There's no reason it should be this high. Like, I would short A and F if I could. Oh, it is easy to borrow. It's risky. But yeah, the problem with it is that there's no reason for Abercrombie to be this high. Like, based off of how much it earns, the float of Abercrombie and Fitch is 50 million, right? So it is a smaller float stock, number one. But in terms of what it owns, like, this is their graph. I mean, they're doing a little bit better money-wise. But again, Abercrombie and Fitch, if you don't understand, if you're too young to understand what this company is, here's their quarterly numbers, right? Quarterly, they're inconsistent at best. But they have done a little bit better over the last, you know, year or so. But again, Abercrombie and Fitch is a clothing brand, like a preppy clothing brand that was around in the 90s and really it was the early 2000s. They got really big. Everybody wore them. I had Abercrombie shirts and wore Abercrombie shirts. But they were just kind of like, and like listen, I wore whatever the girls liked. You know what I mean? So like if again, I've said it, I'll say it again. If the girls like pink bunny suits, I would wear a pink bunny suit. I didn't care about it like that. But Abercrombie and Fitch, I don't know, it just got too weird. And eventually it failed, just like American Eagle did, just like a lot of these clothing brands did. It's recently seen a resurgence. I see an Abercrombie and Fitch at the mall. The problem is that nobody's ever there. Nobody's ever buying stuff from them. So like, what is justifying this crazy run for Abercrombie? If you look at Abercrombie here, it's at freaking $140 a share. It's up hundreds and hundreds of percent in the last 2 years. And it's not really earning enough to justify it, I think. And so I think this will come back down eventually. You know, I do think this will come back down eventually, but who knows? I don't know what's going to happen. Not an investment professional, not liable. Don't sue me. I have no idea what I'm talking about. I might be wildly wrong about everything, but yeah, I don't know what's going on with it. It's weird. Yeah, Hollister, Abercrombie. Yeah, 50-to-1 split will chop the shares into, yeah. Freaking Gen Z. All right. Yeah, so there's Abercrombie and Fitch. We also have Reddit. Again, Reddit stock, tech IPO recently going crazy. Up to almost $70 a share. This one IPO'd at 47. So this is a very successful IPO so far for Reddit, and it's rising. This is one that you want to watch. It's tech. It might move markets a little bit just based off of sympathy. We'll see, but watch it, you know. So I went to jiu-jitsu last night, man. And it was the nighttime jiu-jitsu class, which was fun. It was fun, you know. The night jiu-jitsu class. There's so much ego in jiu-jitsu, though, bro. I don't think I tapped once yesterday. Speaking of egos, I don't think I tapped once yesterday. Even the higher belts. Which is good. I'm trying to think. I rolled with a bunch of people I don't usually get to roll with. Because usually the night class, I'm too late. And it's, but yeah, it was fun. It was gi. I'm starting to really like no gi much more. But like, I'm still okay in a gi. You know, I just like no gi much more. I like, it's hard to explain. I don't like the grips system as much. Like, I like collar ties and guillotines and anacondas and stuff like that. I don't like bow and arrow chokes and stuff. Although bow and arrow chokes will put you out quick. I don't know if I told my stream this, but I went out the other day in practice. So like my coach was helping me. I was helping my coach be like I was like my coach's tutorial assistant, right? So he's showing different moves. He was showing bow and arrow chokes specifically, right? And bow and arrow chokes are like really nasty, bro. You grab the collar from behind. So like somebody's got your back. They grab your front collar like this. And then they grab the bottom side of it with the other arm so that you can't move. So you're stuck. And then they basically put their foot on your hip and they kick off of you and push back and pull your collar tie like this until it cuts it off, right? And like I'm sitting there, I'm hanging out, living life, you know, being my coach's assistant guy. And then before you know it, I just bam. You know, and I literally started hearing reggae music in my head. So I'm sitting there in my head, like I hear reggae music. And then all of a sudden, and I'm sitting there like rocking out to the reggae music. And all of a sudden I feel my coach come and like sit me up and be like, John, hey, wake up, wake up. They said I was snoring with my eyes open, believe it or not, you know. But again, and it wasn't even my coach's fault. Like for whatever reason, I forgot it was a blood choke, right? And usually I listen to my breathing and I'm like, all right, I can breathe. My airways are clear. I'm good. But blood chokes are not like that. Blood chokes, you think everything's all sunshine and rainbows, and then bam, you know. It was fun. It was really funny. I heard reggae music in my head, and so I woke up and I was like, "Did y'all hear that music?" And they were like, "No." So, yeah, that's the first time I've ever been out all of jiu-jitsu, all of my training. So I think I'm doing okay. But it was funny. Do the fees increase once I become funded? It depends. So you can pay a lifetime fee that's going to be a little bit more. It depends on, I'm pretty sure it depends on which package you buy. You know, I think the base fee is going to be more expensive than some of the cheaper some of the cheaper packages, but I think less expensive than some of the more expensive ones. But again, you'd have to check with them, brother. Like with specific details like that, you want to check with them. Yeah, I'm all right. Again, that's the first time that it's ever happened to me, like all of jiu-jitsu. So like, I think I'm doing okay, you know. And I've never actually gone out while I was rolling with somebody, and so I'm pretty good at like I'm not like I'll just tap if I feel endangered at all. I'm just gonna tap, you know. But I think I do have like good resiliency with like I don't tap unless something's actually, you know, unless I'm really in trouble. Like a kid got me in a neck crank yesterday, and it was rough, but it was fun. It was fun. I bought Lucid yesterday. I'm scared to buy Lucid. Although Lucid cars are actually pretty cool. Like Lucid cars are actually nice. I like Lucid cars. I just don't think they have the customer base to succeed long term. I just don't. I don't think they have the consumer base to succeed long term. It's funny, I have a condition called syncope. Every couple years I just pass out. It's still unexplained. I often hear awesome tunes. Yeah, for sure. That's the first thing that I realized is that you hear music. And that's what he said. I was like, I told him, I was like, yo, I heard reggae music. Like, you know, because I was only out for maybe like 5 seconds before they woke me back up. You know, and again, but the choke is really like, it's a nasty choke, man. It's no joke. Like, you have to tap very quickly with those or you'll go out. Which now I learned. But no, a lot of the time when you go out, you hear music. You know. Market going up? Yeah, today it is. You know, the Q is up, Reddit is up, Nvidia is up, Google is up. You know, we're pretty green on the day. We'll take it. A lot of stuff's around lifetime highs. We'll see if we continue to break. Apple's gapping up a little bit today, although it's pretty much flat the last 3 days since the big pullbacks from the news. Tesla's back up pretty big today, though, so Tesla has rebounded a lot. Tesla up to almost 178. So if you take a look at Tesla here, Tesla's doing great this morning. You know, right back up to almost 180s. Gold. Yeah, it's a pretty busy week too. Oh, gold is flying up. I didn't realize gold was up so much. Gold up to over 2200s. Check it out. And again, look at my indicator. Bro, my indicator's shining over here today. Look at this. Look at that reversal signal. Boom. Again, I can't guarantee this is going to work for anybody. I have no idea what I'm talking about. I'm just playing with indicators on AI. So please do not copy me. This is not for sale. I'm testing it out as you guys see it. And it doesn't seem that bad. It seems to be genuinely pretty solid, I think. Right? I mean, a couple of them didn't work. I think it depends on the time frame. But yeah, not too bad. But yeah, gold up to 2200s. The Q with a nice gap up today. Tech is mostly leading the way. Again, Nvidia up to 950s. Today we have durable good orders. So we do have durable good orders dropping at 830. Not really a huge release, but we'll cover them nonetheless. Gold will keep doing well in uncertain times. Yeah. Sometimes. It just depends. It's not always definitive. It varies. CLSK looks good. I just don't know enough about it. This is Clean Spark, right? Yeah, I mean, it looks good. I just don't know anything about the company, so I'm not really going to buy it. I just don't know enough about it. You know, CLSK was a penny stock to start the year. This is one of those rare penny stocks that looks to be maybe succeeding. Although this one has gone, the polar, like the huge range for this one is crazy. Like this thing has gone, if you look at a weekly chart for CLSK, you look at a weekly chart, this thing has gone ridiculous ups and downs. Like, look, this thing was at 150s back in 2018, dipped all the way to 97 cents by 2020, back up to $40 by 2021, and then back down to freaking $2, $3 at the beginning of this year, and then now it's back up to 23.40s. So, I mean, it's just highs and lows. You know, maybe the pattern continues, I don't know, but like maybe the pattern keeps going like something like this. But like I think it's way too risky for me to bet on personally. So we'll see. You must have hit what, TV? I noticed gapped up a good amount. Famous dance for what? What famous dance? And what stock? Tesla. Oh, my famous Tesla dance? I don't dance, bro. I'm not a dancer by nature. I'll sarcastically dance to troll people and to troll my daughter a little bit, but I don't actually dance, you know. Like I don't non-sarcastically dance. I can slow dance. But I can't fast dance at all. But Tesla's up. I mean, it's still down though. I mean, Tesla is still down on the year. You know, so even with this gap up, it's still down on the year, I think. So it's still got a long ways to go before it gets back up to these high levels at 300. We'll see, but yeah, it's still got a long ways to go. Well, of course it's not going to go forever. I think the best thing that Nvidia can do, though, is consolidate and at least hold its gains long term. If Nvidia holds its gains long term, that's when it's going to be a little bit more valid, I think. But it has to hold the gains. You know, I think people are so afraid of big corrections. You know, like, people want to see this. You know, and that's what we've gotten. What we should really want is this. You know what I mean? Like, that's what we should want, because when we consolidate and hold these gains for long periods of time, it makes it more valid in market's eyes, right? And so I think that's something that we want to see, is we just want to see it hold. Like, I don't need it to break highs again. I just want to see it hold. I don't want to see it correct. I don't want to see it drop to 600, 500, you know. I don't want to see that, because that's going to drag the market down, and that's when we have crash and correction risks, is when Nvidia corrects, which hopefully it doesn't, but it certainly could, you know. I guess that's a good poll option. Does Nvidia eventually correct? Let's try it. Does Nvidia eventually correct back down to $600 a share? Vote on that poll. Yeah, GameStop earnings at 4 p.m. today. GameStop's up as well. It's up to 15s. I'm green on GameStop. I'm in GameStop. I'm green on it. I'll take it. I think in the next year or two it goes down. Maybe. One day. Maybe in this year. Riding a trend. How long until the data comes out? Anyone tell me? Not from the US. Well, this data's not really big, man. So this data's not really the biggest release. It drops at 8:30 though, but it's not a huge release at all. Like, this is very small, you know, very small release. If it fell hard, it'll have many buys from the dip. Yeah. Yeah, Tesla 178s. We got a little flip. I mean, I don't think even Tesla haters can't say this doesn't look like a flag pattern. You know? Tell me that doesn't look like a flag pattern. No, it's probably like right now it's probably like 75 degrees outside. 56. It's colder. No. Yeah, Bitcoin over 70K today. How many times in life do you get a 3x in a year? That's almost a sure thing. Well, a sure thing doesn't exist. Almost a sure thing. I mean, In stock market, that doesn't exist either. Now, it could be, we could have a good chance, but a sure thing is different. I don't like definitive statements, you know. If you're talking about Bitcoin, though, I do think it's a sure thing, if that's what you're referencing. I don't think it's a sure thing. Let me clarify. Going back to what I just said, sure things don't exist. I think it's very probable Bitcoin at least doubles from here eventually. You know, again, just because of the design of Bitcoin, right? Like finite nature, eventually more and more are going to be mined. That should, you know, increase price over time. And that's kind of what we see now. Oh, I don't know about this year though. I don't think putting a time frame on Bitcoin is the right move. I think it might take 5 years to triple. You know, we don't know. Okay, yeah, no. If you're talking about Bitcoin, I think Bitcoin's a little different, Tyler. But yeah. All right, guys. We got durable good orders. Good year for Bitcoin. ETFs all fail long term on commodities, but if you're, some of them fail because they're designed to, you know. The vote's not tied. It's at 51-49, so makes sense. Nvidia is pretty split, polarized in nature. Durable goods drop in about an hour and a half. We'll put a timer up for it, but yeah, about an hour and a half. Yeah, there's a timer, about an hour and a half. We got the flag on Tesla. We'll see if that holds too. We'll probably get ready to trade a little bit today too. The durable orders, the durable goods is it's not like a crazy big release. It's just not. I mean it might move the markets a little bit, but we'll see. It depends. We also have durable good orders. We got the Case-Shiller and we got CB Consumer Confidence data at 10. So pretty busy day, to be honest. I mean, none of this is really big reports. Durable goods is probably the biggest thing. Maybe CB Consumer Confidence is relevant for 10 a.m. as well. But yeah, we'll see. You know, we don't really have much going on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday this week outside of GameStop today. We do have GameStop earnings this week, so that's big. But tomorrow we have GDP, or no, the day after tomorrow we got GDP, jobless claims, and Michigan inflation expectations and consumer sentiment. And then Friday we have PCE data, you know, and Powell speaking. So Friday's big, and then next week is pretty busy as well. Next week we got non-farm employment. And then we're going to start heading into earnings. So we're going to start heading into earnings. You know, next week we got next week's probably busier than this week. Next week we got ISM manufacturing PMI. Tuesday we got jolts. So Tuesday we got the big job report. Wednesday we got ISM Wednesday we have ISM non-manufacturing and services PMI, and we also have ADP non-farm employment change. This is next week. All right, the Nasdaq's ripping up, chat, breaking highs right now, breaking highs. Thursday of next week we have jobless claims, and then Friday of next week we got unemployment non-farm payroll data. And again, we're gonna start hitting earnings coming out. So again, and then I believe the week after that is CPI week, if I remember correctly. Let me check. Yeah, so Wednesday, so the week after that CPI week. Please don't do it like you do. Just do, okay, good. They actually did it where PPI is the day after CPI for once, man. They need to do it like that. All right, so that's good. So yeah, then the week after that. So it'll be a very busy time. And then after that, earnings start. So we got earnings. Look at the market rip up, guys. Look at the Nasdaq pop here. Yeah, Nasdaq's popping up. Look at Nvidia. Nvidia shooting up to 960s right now. So here's the Q. So this is the Q price action. We might get started day trading this. We got a nice little pullback here. Let's see if we can buy into this. I'm pretty sure we've made money in this account the last week or so. Yeah, we've made a little bit. It's been back and forth. So we're gonna take 4 contracts. We're just trying to add some size to this because we can. There we go. All right, we're gonna take half of that off, lock it in, protect this. And then if we fail this, that's okay. We might add back to it. Watching Nvidia here, chat. I'm basically betting that Nvidia is gonna rip the market back up, which is what we're betting on. 6 contracts here. A little bit early for this, but the range is small, so we gotta take a little bit larger share size. You know, we are heading back into support. I'm going to add it 1 more, and then that'll be it. We'll get out at 4 lot increments. Probably bought it a little bit too close to highs, and that's okay. I'm probably going to have to figure out a way out of this position here. We'll let it break lows. Actually, we're pretty close to flat. I'm going to cover around that top level and protect the trade. And we're basically break even on the day now. That way, if this doesn't work, it's a small loss. Yeah, we're just gonna cut it. I think it might bounce here to clarify, but we just got such a bad entry. We're down $30, so it's small. We just did such a bad entry there. I just need to find a way out of that position. Got a little overzealous when I saw the market start to rip. But yeah. What's the E-mini look like? E-mini is completely flat. Yeah, if you look at like the S&P here, or the regular NASDAQ or the S&P, it's all very boring. Not really much going on. Can y'all see the timer? Okay, yeah, y'all can. Good. So yeah, we did get that big pop. Have we ever gotten corrections in election years? Yes, we have, but it's rare. Detra. It's certainly not the standard. Usually we have bull runs. Yeah, Nvidia up to almost 962. Yeah, Nvidia's up a lot. Yeah, it's up to 960s. Again, will it break highs is the question. I mean, we don't know, Detra. Nothing's definitive, and the market can always shock us. So that's what you got to understand. Like, it could happen. You know, it could happen. Maybe it doesn't, but it could. All right, chat. Remember the so you do have to remember that the Apex one-day sale stops. Let me see when it's over. In a day, in 1 day and 10 minutes, the Apex 80% off sale stops. So there's no more Apex 80% off sale after a day and 10 minutes. I think they might keep it going, but I don't think they will. So that's over in a day and 10 minutes, chat. 1 day, 10 minutes. And so again, if you haven't already, check out Apex. They give you a demo. They test your skill in futures. You can see the futures market is very similar to day trading stocks. There's just no PDT rule in futures. So I could day trade, short, all that good stuff. No PDT restrictions. In Apex, they give you a demo. They test your skill. They paid out over $100 million because if you pass the test, if you hit the profit target, the base one's 25K demo. If you can make $1,500 on it without losing $1,500 first and following their rules, they fund you 25K with a 90% split. You get to keep your first 25K in profit as well. And again, they've paid out over $100 million. They're one of the most legit ones in the world. For the time being, they have what's called their one-day pass going on right now, which means that if you take the challenge and you pass it today, you get funded today. You don't have to trade for 3 days, which is usually the standard. I think the standard might be you have to trade for 7 days. And so for the time being, it's the one-day pass. Again, if you want to check them out, a great way to help support the channel. Here's the link. Use promo code BT. Remember, they are a sponsor. I'm biased because they pay me money. Definitely biased, like I always tell people. But I think it's really good for traders because most day traders are going to lose, right? So it makes a lot more sense to try this out. If you lose, you're out $30 for the base one. You know, I think that just makes a lot more sense. And there's the link in chat. Yeah, and I'm funded in a couple different accounts. I'm going to have to start taking some swings in these accounts off stream because if not, it's going to be so slow. And remember, guys, like I don't need to get funded. And so whatever happens in these funded accounts, it's all good. Like my Thinkorswim account's got over, 70,000 in it right now, I think, or around 70K. So I don't need to get funded, but I got to take some swings, I think, right? I think it only makes sense for me to take swings and to have some fun with it. All right, Nvidia. Let's see if Nvidia can head back up. FDA and no delisting is good news. Maybe. Google at 152s. So Google looks great. Looks strong. Bitcoin finally falling? Is it really? Yeah, Bitcoin is just up so much, man. It's over 70,000. Looks good. I mean, I think it's over 70K. I'm looking at Bitcoin futures a lot. It's at 70.76. So yeah, Bitcoin's up. See if Nvidia can keep rising. Nvidia's getting up there, you know. So Nvidia is getting up there. If Nvidia drags tech up today, then it'll have some powerful potential movements. All right, so here's the NASDAQ. All right, so we did get a pullback on the NASDAQ here. Part of me wants to buy this dip, though. Let's see. I'm going to buy this dip. It's one contract of the regular NASDAQ, so it's a little bit larger size. See if we get a pop. Toss giving me these alerts. Alright, so we're bouncing up a little bit. Let's see if we hold. I like the bounce level. I do think I have to be patient with it, though. All right, so look at Tesla. Tesla bouncing at the VWAP there. Back up to 178 plus. All right, so we're up 15. Dang, bro, I'm searching for domains, dude. This one, they are really genuinely, bro. How dare you, GoDaddy, bro? I type in this domain name. GoDaddy's trying to charge me $800,000 plus $21 a year for a good domain name. Well, oh, it's for sale. Bro, how dare you, dude? Get out of here with this. Okay, well, I found a pretty good domain name for sale by the owner. All right, so we're up a little bit in the NASDAQ here. I think I'm just going to let this ride a little bit more. All right, so we're up 30 bucks, 35 bucks. All right, we're just gonna go ahead and take that profit. So we just made 25 bucks there. That's okay. We'll take that. We'll see what else we can do. And again, we're trading on Apex funded account programs. Bro, basically no good domains. Alright, how many AI launch help me pick out some. Look at Tesla bouncing straight up to 178.50s here, 178.50s. Alright, so we did get a little dip. Part of me wants to buy the dip. Yeah, hey. Alright, so we are pulling back, so it looks like it was a good move for me to get out. Nvidia up to 962s here, Chad. 962s. We still got over an hour. Alright, so we are getting a little dip here. I'm probably going to buy this dip again and see if we can catch something. We're pulling back to support. So we just bought one contract at the NASDAQ here. Oh man, I look up and we're down big, man. My fault. Yeah. We'll see. We'll give it 1 second, but I'll probably have to cut this. We're gonna cut this. Just too big of a dip. We gotta cut it. Big dip. Man, dude, why isn't it finding it? So let's go back. Alright, so we did get a pretty big pop back up. We kind of retraced that whole candle with the, I think this is probably, yeah, look at the green engulfing candle that just showed up. So not too shabby. See if we bounce back more. It does look like we're kind of in a downward trend. Yeah, so we continue to get a bounce. Let's see if we hold. Chat. Never bought gold. What do you guys think gold will do? Yeah, sorry, I'm working on other stuff in the background, chat. We're waiting for this stuff to start. We don't really have too much to do now. We're just watching markets, kind of trading a little bit. Tesla did bounce at the volume weighted average price. Nvidia bounced at the volume weighted average price also. So, yeah, we did get a pretty big bounce here. It's all good. It happens, you know. I'm over here in the background, so. Yeah, so there's a comeback all the way back down to the bottom here. Yeah, big dip. Big correction. It's mostly Nvidia related here, chat. Yeah, so there's the Nasdaq pulling back, Tesla pulling back, Nvidia dipping under the VWAP here, chat. All right, so now we're consolidating, trying to bounce back up some. We're just kind of sitting tight. Part of me wants to buy it, part of me wants to sell it. So we'll see. Again, we do have durable goods. Full self-driving for a month. Dodging rain. Yeah, it's been rainy here too. So yeah, it has been pretty rainy here also. You know, again, I'm really kind of curious about Abercrombie and Fitch. You know? All right, so we got a little bounce. Look at Tesla breaking highs. It really is going to depend on what Nvidia does here, though. Nvidia under the VWAP. The Q's starting to bounce back up, though. Q back up to 447. It's trying to get back up there. Which bridge? Oh, in Baltimore. Oh, man, I'm sorry to hear. Rest in peace if anybody passed. I'm sorry to hear that. It's tough. Why would Nvidia correct back to 600? I'm not saying it will. I'm just asking people if you think it will. We talked about that earlier. Again, what I said earlier, and again, like, please don't be one of the traders, and again, I'm not saying you are, but please don't be one of those traders that, like, anything that they don't want to hear, they just get emotional about, right? Like, if they don't want Nvidia to correct back down to 600, they say, oh, how dare you even say that, you know? Like, that's hella emotional. Now, I'm not saying that's you. I'm just saying, in the end, Nvidia certainly could correct back to 600. It also could certainly keep running back up. You know, I don't know. What I said was that if we're looking at, people come here all the time and they start predicting stock market crashes and corrections and like all these different things. And I think the only way we really get that right now is if Nvidia makes some type of massive correction back down to 600, you know, 500, 600, 700. I think if Nvidia does like this, the whole market's going to correct or potentially crash. And so I think what is healthy for Nvidia right now, Nvidia doesn't need to continue to break highs. Like, I don't think it needs to. I think the more it does that, the more probable like a big parabolic like dump is, right? And I don't want to see that. I would much rather see Nvidia just simply consolidate. I want to see Nvidia go like this for a while. You know, like long term, I just want to see Nvidia go sideways. I think it's way too risky for it to continue to rip up, breaking highs, doing all this crazy stuff that it just doesn't need to do. It simply doesn't need to do. It just needs to hold. And if it can, I think that's great. I think it's a great sign. Yeah, I mean, Nvidia went from 400 to almost 1,000 in a couple months. It's certainly possible for it to come back down a little bit. I hope I'm wrong. I hope it doesn't. Yeah, I hope it goes sideways. I think sideways is good. Like, if it could just stay sideways, I think that's great. Oh, man, the Francis Scott Key Bridge in Baltimore collapsed after a ship struck it. Man, sad. Again, I hope it doesn't happen, but man. All right, so Q bounced right at the 200 EMA. Yeah, Nvidia back up over VWAP right now. That's good. That's a good sign. All right, so Nvidia back over the VWAP here. The Q's still trying to push up. It's at 447s. Volume and liquidity are a little low. We still got an hour before durable goods drop. Yeah, Tesla's up nicely today. I mean, Tesla looks pretty solid. All right, so we are popping up a little bit here. All right, so we did get this little trade out the books here. We're going to go ahead and take the rest off. We're slightly green on the day, very slightly. We are up a whopping $9 on the day. $9 on the day. I'll take it. We got the bounce. We bounced right at the 200 EMA is what we're looking at. So we were up a whopping $9 on the day. All right, chat. So we did get a little green trade in there, getting us green on the day. But again, we're basically flat. Yeah, sorry, I'm updating my banner here in the background, chat, so just forgive me. Actually, get rid of that. Let me see. There we go. It's better. All right, almost done. There we go. All right, so we're trying to make this a little bit bigger so you guys can read it fully. I guess that's good. There we go. All right, that should be good. Let me download this and make this a banner now. All right. We got a new banner full of more words. Maybe I should make it a little bit smaller, actually. Sorry, I'm trying to build this banner. All right, guys, we got a little bounce back right at the 200 EMA. If we look at where we bounce here, if we look at the Q, look at exactly where we bounce. We came right back down to that 200 EMA level, that exponential 200 level. Look at the bounce here. Boom. We got a nice little pop-up from the 200 EMA level. That's the trade we took. We were slightly green on the day trading. We were very green in the equities, today. We're very green, so that's nice. We woke up with Tesla being very good to us. We'll take that. And, yeah, we'll see if it continues. But so far, we're doing okay. Man, Canva even has AI here, too. All right. This should be good enough. Delete. Buy price because I have no idea where the bottom 100% is. I think if it sells off, it won't be that crazy, but who knows? No, I don't. I don't UV. Never watch them, man. Hey, nice, bro. Congrats. That's a great trade, bro. That's a great trade, man. Nice job. All right, so here's the updated one. It's a little bit low, but that's all right. I think if I do it like this, you'll be able to see it a little bit better. And yeah, just remember this chat right here. Remember, I am terrible at this stuff. Have no idea what I'm talking about. I may be wildly wrong about anything I say here. This content is for entertainment purposes only, and my experiences, wins or losses in trades may be conducted in real time or on stream. Do not copy me. I have no idea what I'm talking about. Yep, there you go. That's good. All right, but we did get a nice little bounce here. We are slightly green on the day and everything. I don't know if it's going to continue. Yeah, we're just kind of sitting tight, waiting. We do have durable good orders dropping in about 45 minutes or so. So 45 minutes durable goods. We'll see how that goes. We've got GameStop earnings today. GameStop earnings are at 2 p.m. I don't really use MACD 2 trades. It's not really something I do regularly, you know. It's just not really, yeah. What's you guys' favorite indicator? I think that's a pretty good question. What's your favorite indicator to use? Mine is the volume weighted average price or the 200 EMA. It's pretty close between those two. I've been, you know, I used to be a big VWAP trader. I love the 200 EMA now. I think the 200 EMA has gotten really, really nice. And so, yeah, I love using the 200 EMA now. I just think the 200 EMA might have a little bit more weight than the VWAP at this point, you know. Yeah, VWAP's good for sure. Stochastic, yeah. All right. Durable good orders, guys, in 45 minutes. We've traded a little bit. We'll see if we get some more trades in the books here. Again, here's the regular NASDAQ. I'm going to switch to the micro. Again, I like buying at the bottom of this range, but I need us to pull back to the bottom of the range before I buy it. 200 EMA, KDJ, cheaper shares. Why would you think Nvidia correction? I'm not saying Nvidia does correct. I don't know. I'm not saying it does. I'm asking people if you guys think it will. You know? Again, if I say, hey, is the sky going to fall tomorrow? It doesn't mean I think the sky's going to fall tomorrow. What I'm saying is, again, I'll tell you this. I hope Nvidia goes up. I want it to continue to go up. And I think Nvidia is very strong. And I think AI is super influential over the future of tech. Right? Like, those are all things that I am absolutely for. But I think if people are calling for a crash every day here, every day you see people saying, oh, market crash, market correction, market crash, Nvidia's never going to hold, or whatever they say. And again, I'm not saying this happens, but the only justifiable scenario, I think, in which markets are going to crash this year, in an election year, the only justifiable scenario is if Nvidia one day, for whatever reason, starts to drop down to like $600. You know, I think that will cause a massive correction in tech in general. And that's the situation in which I see a big market correction or crash happening. Outside of that, I don't think we're going to hit one this year, especially because it's an election year. And typically these things don't happen during election years. But yeah. We already got a correction in 2022. And so it's unlikely we're going to get another one. But it's possible. And again, it depends. Yeah, MU's flying up, almost up to 120s here. And again, look at my indicator. So we built this indicator earlier, bro. I've been testing it all morning. Check it out. No, wait. I guess I took it off the chart. Or no, I didn't. Here, look. Look at that. Nice. Look at that. It literally called the exact bottom. Like, I think the risk reward has got to be pretty good with these. Right? Like, check that out. Look at that move. We called the exact bottom. I'll have to go back testing it. It seems to be working okay with individual stocks. Look, called the bottom here as well. Look at that. Nice little bottom call for that one too. And this is an indicator I built on Thinkorswim with AI. Look at these two. It called the bottom here as well. Bottom. That's the one that didn't work, but all the rest of them did, so it's still running. Yeah, look, that one worked. Got a follow through, bounce. That one worked as well. Look, called the bottom, got a nice little follow through. This one we even got a little bounce, I think. Let me see. We did get a little bit of one. It depends on whether you want to call that one right. I think this is like 80%. I think that's like 70, 80%. So we're getting, you know, some good results from these indicators. Look at MU rip up as well. The Q rip it up. Look at Nvidia here. We got to watch Tesla also. All right, we're at 178.40s here, chat. Ugh. Unemployment happens a lot of times, so companies can pay their... Well, company's job, Detra, is to make money with hiring, make the max amount of money with hiring the least amount of people. You know, now you can expand, but like an example of that, like I can use I can compare it to my business, right? Like I've tried hiring people full time, you know, I've tried hiring contractors and having them work for me. In the end, my channel's too small. You know, like it's just not a smart expense for me. You know, and like I've had trouble hiring good people. Like I've hired people that their literal only job was to like post to Twitter. You know, it was to like get up in the market in the morning for markets and post to Twitter, and they were making thousands of dollars a month just doing that. And like they would hang out and like play video games all night and wake up and not do any posts. You know, and just kind of waste money. And again, maybe, I don't know, but in the end, it wasn't worth it for me to hire people. You know, like my channel competes with the big network sometimes, and we have one person working here. Pawn helps me. Pawn's my main mod. He helps a lot. But outside of him, we don't really need anybody else to work the channel. Like, we just don't need anybody else. It's too much work. It's too much stress. It's too much hassle. And more important than any of that stuff, it's not justifiable in terms of, like, expenses. Like, the net gain that we get from hiring somebody outside of Pawn is not worth the trouble of staying on top of people who don't really want to work, and, like, you know, it's just not worth it. It's just not worth it. So, and again, I mean, I know I'm not these companies, but yeah. Yeah, before you know, you got to pay somebody else just to manage the other people that you're paying. It's just a lot of work. Again, when I built this business that I have, like beginner trading, you know, it makes hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. I did so with the, like, listen, I've started this channel. I've worked with people, and maybe I'm just not easy to work with. That's certainly possible. That's certainly possible. I'm very rigid in what I need. Like, I need to be able to run things, and, like, I'm just very rigid in that way. Like, I trust my own ability to grow, and we have, you know. But again, maybe I'm just difficult to work with. Either way, it's just not worth it to pay somebody else to work with me. It's just not. Outside of Pawn, you know, Pawn's great. He's a great mod. Yeah, I think it's the younger generation. I don't mean to be that old man that's like, oh, these young whippersnappers, these young kids. But, like, I think it's the younger generation. I really do. Younger generation doesn't want to work. They've got the whole quiet, quit culture in it. But it's like, bro, if you're getting paid thousands of dollars to make Twitter posts, you know, like, make the freaking Twitter posts, bro. All you got to do is make a couple of Twitter posts and you're done. And so, yeah. When I didn't get that, I was just kind of like, all right, like, time to go, you know. Luckily, I'm just hiring contractors, and so I can kind of do this really quickly and just be like, all right, moving on, you know. Not difficult at all, but we have the same mindset. Yeah, for sure. And again, I made sure, like, I always tell everybody I work with, like, yo, nobody's ever getting equity in beginner trading, unfortunately. Like, I can't risk that. It's too much, you know. And I tell everybody, like, I had a guy that, he was a friend. Like, he was a friend that I knew in real life. He wasn't a close friend. He was somebody that I just met. His son hung out with my son and knew each other and stuff like that. And so, you know, and he dealt with like a similar market. And so I just kind of asked him, I was like, hey, if you want to come on stream one day, you can. But I put it out there. I was like, look, bro, like, you could come on stream, but you're never going to own any of beginner trading. Like, you're never going to own any of it. Like, I'm never going to hire you to work for me. You know, this is not me testing you to see if you can work for me. This is just seeing if you want to come and BS with me on stream, fine. Like, but no pressure either way. And so, and I put it out there. I was like, you're never getting equity, you know. And eventually, I think where I slipped up, people could get so manipulative, right? And this person kind of reminded me of, if you've ever seen War Dogs, the movie War Dogs, you know, Jonah Hill's character in War Dogs, where they're just kind of like trying to personality mirror, and like, they're just trying to manipulate you into getting what they want, right? But they're doing it with, like, and it's such an obvious thing, like personality mirroring, like, oh, you love that, I love that stuff too, you know? I don't know, man. After a certain point, it's just transparent, I think, and people just get weird. So yeah. Anyways, the point I make is, like, I try to keep it just me. Yeah, Z, that person failed. It's true they don't want to work, but that's what our parents said about us. Well, I mean, our parents were right to a certain extent. You know, the difference between our parents' generation and our generation is, like, our generation knows how to make money online, you know? Like, I have in-laws and stuff like that where where it took them a long time to realize that I wasn't just kind of sitting around in here in my underwear, you know, like playing video games or whatever they thought I was doing in here. And so it takes a long time. Like, I think they have a very one-dimensional mindset when it comes to work. Like, yo, you got to get up and put on a uniform and go work as a conventional job and get paid in the corporate structure. And if you don't do that specifically, you're unemployed, basically, is what they think, right? So, like, they thought I was unemployed for a long time. But again, at a certain point, like, when I start to make more doing this, like 2, 3, 4 times more doing this than I would working a conventional job, they start to kind of understand. But even still, I think that there's just a one-dimensional mindset with that generation where they think that unless you're putting on pants and putting on your uniform and go and work a corporate job or whatever, maybe not a uniform, maybe a suit, and if you're not going to do that, then you're not really working. And I don't know. I don't like the corporate environment. Jonah Hill was like a breath of fresh air when he came out. Without a structured lifestyle, young people slide off the rails. Nah, two-way was cool. I don't really have anything against two-way. Two-way actually never really wanted to work with my channel in that way, like that. Him and I worked on other stuff, but he never wanted, like, yeah, I'm definitely not talking about two-way. Two-way was cool. I don't know what happened to him, but he was cool. Yeah, company loyalty is dead. I think it depends. Companies got to show me they're going to be loyal to me before they want me. Like, if they want me to turn down other job offers, they better show me that they better at least match the offer, you know? And so I don't think you should be loyal to a company that wants to pay you less. Not unless you have, like, very specific outlook for promotion, you know? But it's nuanced. Hey, what's up, Cheddar? Thoughts on Mara and chart, please? Yeah, well, Mara and Riot, crypto's moving. You know, so crypto's moving. Bitcoin up to 70,000 plus. If we look at Bitcoin here, yeah, Bitcoin over 70,000, up to almost 71K. Where's the lifetime highs for Bitcoin? Lifetime highs for Bitcoin over 74, 75,000. So they're doing great. Yeah, they're doing great. We'll see if they continue, but yeah, they're moving. What is the symbol for durable goods? You think it's a stock, Martina? Yeah, people who get, like, the real way to get paid the most, to get the highest salary, is to be competitive with jobs. You know, now you don't want to just leave every 6 months, because then that's going to be a bad look. But, like, every few years, you know, see what another company's willing to offer you. If they're willing to pay you more, go to your current employee, say, hey, look, you know, will you match this offer? And if they do, great, stay with your company. You know, if they don't, then move along, you know. Again, unless you know, it's not always definitively move on. It really just depends. It depends on the outlook. You know, if you've got a chance to get a bigger promotion in the future, if you've got to prove yourself and they want you to prove yourself first, that's different. But if you already have proved yourself and they're still not willing to give you a raise versus what somebody else is willing to pay you, I think you got to just move on and take the better offer. No, durable good orders is an economic data release, Martina, based off of durable good orders. You know, if you don't know what durable good orders are, we'll break it out. I'll give you the technical definition of them. So yeah, durable good orders are... Sorry, I gotta find where we had them. It's the 26th. All right, so yeah, durable good orders are... It reports the change in the total number, or the total value of new orders for long-lasting manufacturing goods, including transportation items. And so if you want some examples of durable goods, cars, appliances, consumer electronics, furniture, sports equipment, toys, stuff like that. right? So non-durable goods are like foods, toilet paper, things that are going to go bad eventually, or that aren't going to hold. You know what I mean? Examples of durable goods are refrigerators, houses, cars, boats, stuff like that, right? So, yeah. Like manufacturing is what this really is, like a look on manufacturing. Higher is stronger manufacturing data, lower is less manufacturing data, right? So we're looking at the durable goods. So we're looking at how much, it does look at inflation. All right, so the thing to understand is that this does give you a look at inflation, right? So this is telling you how much these things have appreciated. Right now they're expecting 1.2%. 1.2%, because remember, this is the change in the total value of new orders for long-lasting manufactured goods. Yes, rest in peace, Melanie. That's sad. I don't know about TP. You know, I really don't know about TP, but probably. It probably does. All right, chat. Again, the Q moving up. Q up to 447s here, chat. 447s. Look at the break highs. Bitcoin sideways. Nvidia is still consolidating. Nvidia is very flat right now. Very flat. We got 30 minutes before durable good orders come out, but Nvidia is very flat. Supermicro. Where is Supermicro Semiconductors? Up to still 1100. Yeah, let's watch Nvidia though. Nvidia very stagnant here. I'm nervous about buying it. The market looks very flat today. Again, if we look at stuff here, so again, just to give you kind of a quick little look at everything today. So here's Nvidia. Over the last like hour, it's been very flat, very stagnant. Tesla has been testing highs up here, but it's flat over the last like 30, 45 minutes. The Q overall, which is a tech heavy broad market ETF, is very sideways. Very obvious range kind of channel here that we have. We're holding at the 200 EMA, which is right here. So you can see that yellow line is the 200 EMA. We are holding that spot, but still very stagnant, very flat. We do have some microchip stocks moving up. MU up to 120s, had a crazy good day yesterday. AMD ripped up yesterday, up to 181s this morning in after hour or in pre-market. Supermicro Semiconductors had a pretty good day, up to almost $1,100. Apple is still down after the news that dropped for it earlier in the week. It's still down, but it's had a choppy sideways few days, and it did end green yesterday. Microsoft is basically similar, down slightly over the last few days. We also have Google, which is having a pretty good time. Google bouncing up a little bit, testing the highs of the last week or so at about 152.50s. GameStop drops earnings today, and so GameStop is up over the last day from 13s to 15, so a pretty big percentage increase for GameStop. We'll see if that continues. And again, the big other story is Reddit. Reddit stock IPO'd a couple days ago at about mid 40s. It's currently up to $66 a share, hit highs of almost 70 in after hours yesterday, 69.50 roughly. So we'll see if Reddit continues to move up. And again, this is a look at tech. So tech related, Reddit's probably going to be somewhat interesting to watch just based off of how much it's moved since IPO day. And a lot of times IPOs are more volatile. So that's what we're looking at. Again, we do have durable goods at 8:30 this morning. So durable good orders dropping at 8:30. Give a little bit of a look on inflation, although this isn't the biggest release. We also have the Case-Shiller House Price Index drop at 9 a.m. and then CB Consumer Confidence dropping at 10 a.m. So MicroStrategy, another one Pawn sent to me. MicroStrategy, crazy gains with Bitcoin's rise up to almost $2,000 a share for Michael Saylor and MicroStrategy ran almost $400 yesterday from 16 to 19s, 15 to 19s really. So crazy couple days, really a crazy year for MicroStrategy. If we look at it so far this year since 2024, the year started right here. So this is MicroStrategy's year, which is, again, look at these gains. These are just crazy. These are just crazy runs. MicroStrategy recently broke highs again yesterday, broke $400 in push, roughly $400 in pushing up. So crazy. What's up, Daniel? It's because Sam Altman holds half the damn thing. It ain't going down. I bought ALAB. Yeah, ALAB, Astera Labs, up to almost 88 bucks. Hit almost 90. Really good gains yesterday. Went from 70 to 90. Big percentage, about 25% gains. This is a recent IPO for ALAB, another recent IPO. And again, this one is up from, IPO'd it. I opened up at about 55s and 53s. It's now at 85s, at 85s. Hello? Hey. All right, chat, sorry. Here, I'll be right back. All right, sorry. Had to go do something, open the door. My daughter stayed at her grandparents' house last night, but she had to go pick up something before school, so. All right, so again, nice little rebound in markets. The Q's showing a slight upward trend, and I kind of want to buy this dip, but I also understand, like, there's certainly risks here. There's certainly risks. We've been really flat. Now, I want to bet that the Q is going to hold over the VWAP. A lot of it, I think, is going to depend on what Nvidia does here, though. Nvidia has been very low liquidity this morning. Look how choppy Nvidia has been. It's basically been very, very light volume, very, very low trading amounts, low liquidity. And the reason I'm scared to buy this here, even though I think it'll probably bounce, again, do not copy me. Not an investment professional. Not liable if I lose. Remember, I am terrible at this stuff and have no idea what I'm talking about. Maybe wildly wrong about anything I say. This is purely entertainment purposes only. But with all that said, I think we'll probably bounce a little bit right here at the volume weighted average price. But actually, let me stop saying that. Maybe I'm wrong here because look at Nvidia fall. So Nvidia pulling back, pretty heavy pullback for Nvidia. Yeah, pretty large pullback here. So look at Nvidia dip down to 950s. I'm wondering if this is going to drag everything else down with it. It could. It's starting to bounce up a little bit now too. It's at 958.40s, 958.40s. All right, so Nvidia is starting to pop back up a little bit, trying to bounce back up some here. Actually, hold on, guys. Let me go grab something real quick. I'll be right back, chat. My bad. Here, hold on. All right, we're here. Can this news affect gold? If so, how? Because the internet, the data is coming and it will come up. Nicola had a decent day yesterday. P. Diddy has $1 billion market cap. Does he really? Can this news affect gold? It can. I don't know if it will. Again, look at Nvidia all the way back up to the volume weighted average price. I don't know if it's going to hold there. Again, durable goods orders drop in about 20 minutes here, chat. 20 minutes. Yeah, I see Clean Spark. And it's had a pretty good run the last few days. But I don't know if it's going to hold that run. But it's had a pretty good run the last few days. I just saw the poll. Let me look at the poll. I haven't looked at the poll in a minute. We got almost 400 votes. Or we got over 400 votes. 53% say no, Nvidia does not eventually correct back down to $600 a share. 47% say yes, it does. It's an election year. I don't think it does. I think Nvidia just needs to hold. I think if Nvidia holds the gains that it's put in over the last year, it doesn't need to break highs again. I think if it just holds the gains that it's put in over the last year, it's going to be fine. But it has to hold. I think if it makes a big correction, it's going to drag the market down with it. But again, if it can hold, I think that's an optimistic sign. All right, here, my daughter's heading out, so I'm probably gonna give her a hug. All right, I love you. Here, I love you. Have a good day. Let me go say I'm back. Again, I gotta manage this. All right, guys, we got 15 minutes before durable good orders. 15 minutes. Does Nvidia hit 1,000 before it hits a split? I think it could. I think it certainly could. I mean, we're not far off from 1,000 now. You know, so like we're $40 away from 1,000. I don't think that's a crazy expectation here. All right, guys, hold on. All right, we're back. Sorry, my kids are getting off to school, so I'm trying to help them get off to school. All right, so Nvidia bounced a little bit and then pulled back some. We have the Q bouncing right at that 200 EMA. It's been bouncing at the 200 EMA all morning. We'll see if it continues to bounce or continues to hold, but the Q has been bouncing right around the 200 EMA. ALAB at 88 bucks. We got 14 minutes left. Based off of that bark, you have a German Shepherd? Yes, I do. Here's Bruce. This is the dog barking. This is him when he was like 7 months old, so he's actually much, much bigger than this now. But that's Bruce. Great dog. You know, great dog. But that's him as a little pup. You know, he's big. He's big. He's a sweetheart, though, to me. If you come in here and he doesn't know you, he's not. But yeah, he's a good dog. All right, Chad. So we got 10 minutes. All right, so again, ALAB rip it up. We did get a bounce. Here's Tesla. All right, chat, we got 9 minutes. And I'm not sure how much durable goods are going to affect this, but we'll see. We got some big gains coming through here. In tech, we'll see if durable good orders affect these gains at all. Anyone gonna play DJT? Let me see. Yeah, so I saw the bridge disaster. I'm so sorry to hear that. It's so terrible. I hate when that stuff happens. Apple up a little bit today. AMD's had a crazy run and has been pulling back some also. How much does Bruce weigh? He's probably, I would say, 80, 85 pounds, you know, give or take. He's big. Bruce is long, right? Like, he's not the tallest dog, but he's not short either. He's probably a little bit above average height-wise, but he is so long. Like, when he stands next to Rosie, he's like a solid 1.5 feet longer than she is. He's just big. You know, he's big, he's thick, he weighs a lot. Yeah, well, Bruce gets allergies. Rosie is fine. Rosie has never had an allergy before, but Bruce gets allergies and it's a pain. We got 7 minutes, chat. 7 minutes before durable good orders drop. And again, if you want to help support your boy here, check out Apex. Apex, they only have 1 day left for their 80% off sale. For the time being, you can get 80% off Apex. Again, what Apex does is they give you a demo and they test your skill. And you might be wondering, why do I need to pay money for a demo? Because if you pass the test, they fund you the same amount. So this one, if you pass it, you get $150K in funding with a 90% split. They have accounts all the way up to 300. They have static accounts. They have $25,000 combines, which is the cheapest one. It's like 30 or 35 bucks a month. You can use up to 40 micro contracts. And you only have to make $1,500 in profit. If you take this demo account, you make $1,500 in profit without losing $1,500 first while following these rules and conditions. They fund you $25K with a 90% split. You get to keep your first $25K in profit. The use of this is that it creates a perfect middle ground for you to learn day trading in. It's not the full, if you try to put up thousands yourself, you're probably going to lose that day trading. In the futures market, you can day trade the S&P, the NASDAQ, currencies, gold and silver, and there's no PDT restrictions. And so the patterns are very similar to blue chips. But instead of risking thousands of dollars, because most day traders lose, I lost, most day traders lose money. Instead of risking thousands of dollars, you can instead only risk what you pay for it. Again, there's 80% off right now. So the base 25K one's like 35 bucks a month. If you lose, you're only out 35 bucks. It's not the end of the world. But if you're good enough to pass it, you get 90% split anyway. So the reward is similar. And Apex, one of the most legit in the world, they paid out over $100 million to their traders. In actual withdrawal. So great way to help support the channel. Great way to learn day trading with limited risk. And again, I'll put the link up. They are a sponsor of mine. I'm biased in their favor. Always understand that. You know, they pay me money. I'm biased in their favor without question. But again, it's a great way to learn day trading in my opinion. So here's the link. At one time, not for the month. It's at one time, so you can't have a position that's over 4 contracts, which is plenty, right? Which is plenty. Well, I've got a bunch of different accounts. The good thing is that you can get up to like 20 accounts, right? But again, understand, like, my Thinkorswim account's got 70K in it. I don't necessarily need to get funded. Like, I just don't need to get funded. Like, I play around in these funded account programs, and again, if you're not like me where you have plenty of equity, it's a great option. Like, if you're trying to get started with a lesser amount of money, I think it's a good option. But again, I don't need to get funded, you know, no offense. But I am funded. I'm funded in 3 accounts right now. You know, and we do trade some of them off stream and do some stuff, but yeah, we're funded in, I believe, 3 right now. All right, guys, durable good orders in 4 minutes, chat. In 4 minutes, I am going to throw it in sub only mode. So if you haven't already subscribed, we appreciate it. Four contracts of the regular E-mini or 40 contracts of micros is what it is, Jonathan. So 40 contracts of micros is a lot. You know, 4 contracts of the regular E-mini is a lot as well. All right, Chad, durable good orders. Expectations for today, Chad. Expectations are 1.2% for durable goods. Core durable goods expected at 0.4%. All right, so core durable goods measures the change in the total value of new orders for long-lasting manufacturing goods. Core excludes transportation items because aircraft orders are volatile. But yeah, durable good orders drop soon, chat. Let's get ready. Again, hit the subscribe button. We cover this very quickly every day, so hit the sub button, hit the notification bell. We appreciate it. 4 minutes, and then later we got the Case-Shiller and then CB Consumer Confidence data at 10. So, got about an hour and a half before that report, but yeah. Let's do this. Make it a sub only, chat. What a way to rope me in. Just subbed. Hey, thanks, man. I mean, best is subjective. Daphne. So he says, what's the best moving average to use if a stock is bullish? It's subjective. I like the 200 EMA. It's a longer term average, so it's more valid in my opinion. Shorter term averages fake you out left and right. Personally, like, I find shorter term averages just fake me out over and over again. I would rather the 200 EMA and the volume weighted average price, and you can see why. If you look at the chart here, and this is just me, I have no idea what I'm talking about. I might be wildly wrong about everything. If you look at this, though, we bounced directly off of that 200 EMA level. Like, look at that. The yellow line's the 200 EMA right here. Look at the bounce off of it. I just think it's more valid, but yeah, everybody's a little different, you know. So trading futures is similar to stocks. You just can't trade individual stocks, but you can trade the S&P 500. You can trade the Nasdaq 100, basically the Q and SPY price action, you know. So, and those patterns are, and those are index funds made up of the largest stocks in the world. So it's how you get exposure to day trading stocks without actually day trading individual stocks is what it is. But aside from that, it's very similar to day trading stocks. Like, look, like I do this every day. We traded here earlier. And again, this is micro, so we're going to wait for the orders to drop. But buy market, sell market, buy bid, sell the ask. The main difference is just sizing related. So the sizing, one contract move, each symbol moves a different amount per contract size. Micros move much smaller. Like if I buy this here, it's $2 I'm down. So every ticket moves $1, I believe. You know, but here, I got to cut this, chat. I just wanted to show you that as an example. I just lost a little bit of money just to show you guys that. But if I use the regular E-mini, it's much faster. All right, chat. Here we go. Again, we're just gonna watch the Nasdaq here. So here's the Nasdaq futures contract. All right, we're gonna put this up. Let's get ready. Couple seconds left. All right. So again, here's the Nasdaq on the left. This is the Nasdaq 100. Sideways action here. Sideways action. 45 seconds left, chat. Yeah, so there is CB Consumer Confidence data at 10. Case-Shiller data at 9 a.m. CB Consumer Confidence at 10. So we got some stuff. None of it's big, but it's, you know, it's not bad. All right, so here we go. We got 10 seconds, chat, 10 seconds. Make sure you hit the live button next to the play button. All right, here we go. Here's durable goods. 1.2% is what's expected here. 1.2% is what's expected. Let's see what they show up as. Here we go. Waiting. Durable goods came in at 1.4%, higher than expected. 1.4% for durable goods. That's causing the market to dip a little bit. Look at this. Look at the drop in market. So again, 1.4% lower than or higher than expected. Higher than expected for core durable goods, which again excludes vehicles or aircrafts. And the market has not liked higher durable good orders. Again, maybe signaling worse inflationary pressure. That might be the reason the market's not liking this. Again, slightly higher than expected durable goods. Again, core durable goods came in at 0.5% versus 0.4% expected. Regular durable goods came in at 1.4 versus 1.2%. We're going to put both of these up on screen. All right, so here's the numbers right here, Chad. Here's the numbers. And again, we got about 740 people here. So again, so far a negative reaction. It's not the biggest reaction, but the market did move a little bit on this report. My guess is because of inflation fears, right? So here's the NASDAQ breaking down some. We do have NASDAQ dropping here on this report. Again, there's the NASDAQ dipping. We do have the Case-Shiller index. Again, if you want more data like this, hit the subscribe button. We cover it very fast. We cover it very quickly. If you haven't already, sub. You know, we cover this data very fast. All right, chat. Initially, a little bit of a negative reaction here. Although we did get a big down wick. I could buy this up. Let's see. I don't know if I like it, though, because we do have some pushback here. The down wicks look strong, though, so it looks like we could get a bounce, but I don't know. But look at the big down wicks. That signifies buying pressure. And yeah, there goes a little bit of upward action here. The down wicks showed that. Yeah, I'm not going to tell you my sources, Ravi. I mean, we use a bunch of different ones, and then whichever one reports it the fastest we cover. But yeah. Is Bitcoin riding here? So again, we're going to put the Nvidia chart up, and there's Tesla. So we did get some bullish action based off of this. Here's Tesla at the bottom. Here's Nvidia. People saying Bitcoin's running. Bitcoin at almost 71,000 here. 71,000. Moving up a little bit short term. The numbers are why I watch you. Hey, I appreciate it. Yeah, we got CB consumer confidence data at 10 a.m. I'm going to try to buy this. So again, look, I'm buying market into the futures market. We're slightly green on the day. But again, very similar to day trading stocks. And so we have these big down wicks that we're going to try to attack the upside momentum on. We have 4 contracts now. You can see it's very similar to day trading stocks. We're looking at the pattern here. We're buying market, selling market, very similar to day trading stocks. But in futures, again, there's no PDT rule. So I can day trade short. Again, most day traders lose. It's one of the reasons I try Apex. If you use Apex, just remember promo code BT, beginner trading, BT. It'll get you the max discount. All right, so we're going to buy one more lot of this. We have 6 contracts now. And if we break down, we're just going to cut it. Yeah, we got to just cut that. So we're out. We're down a little bit now on the day. We're down like $60. So it could be worse. Just going to wait. I think we got some downwick pressure and a little bounce, but then we got some follow-through continuation. I think we are starting to trend a little bit more negatively. So we'll wait and try to get some better volatility towards the opening bell. Hopefully, at least. You can see Nvidia breaking down. You can see Tesla falling down a little bit as well. Apple also down. Amazon also down over the last couple minutes. AMD still sitting up there. And we do have the K-Shiller data. A lot of good info on the stream. Hey, thanks, man. Good numbers for economy will be positive for markets. Not necessarily. You know, the problem with these numbers is that it triggers inflation fears. It triggers inflation fears, right? So if inflation is feared, these higher economic growth numbers or higher manufacturing numbers might not be a positive, optimistic sign. You know, so it depends on what the market fears. Right now, I think the market's still fearing inflation, especially with the, I mean, I don't think the Fed is necessarily like fearing inflation, but yeah, I'm looking at AMD. AMD's up to 180s today, so we'll see if it holds there. It's right at the 200 EMA now. All right, so we got a little bit of a bounce there. Nvidia is still sitting at the 200 EMA. Yeah, we're just kind of going back and forth in pre-market. We'll hopefully get some better trading towards the open. Rebound all the way back up here. Let's see if this level runs into resistance. I think it could, but again, longer term we're kind of flat since early this morning. Big range, but sideways action. AMD and Nvidia both bounced at the 200 EMA level, so you can see here on the right charts, 200 EMA. This is why we watch the 200 EMA here. 200 EMA, because you get follow through bounces a lot of the time at that level. It might not actually hold, but at least an initial bounce is what we sometimes get. I read 6 report in the last 2 days, season trades predicting a market crash. Yeah, but market crashes are something in which, like, an example of this, okay, is if we look at the SPY. If we look at the SPY in 2020, or we'll put Nvidia on the bottom chart. If we look at the SPY in 2020, right? Or not even in 2020, in 2022. We look at mid to late 2022. a lot of seasoned traders, Michael Burry, everybody was telling people we would hit a market crash here. You know, again, I was contrarian. I was telling, most people said we were going to hit a market crash. I told people we weren't. I told people it was not super probable, and that I didn't think we had to crash. I thought, you know, we had this big correction already. I thought we were down a lot already leading into this point. And that my bias was to the upside. And I said this over and over again, and people made fun of me. They mocked me. They did all this different stuff, right? In hindsight, the market ended up ripping up in 2023, 24%. One of the best years in a long time. 24% gains in 2023. These gains were right here. You can see them. Crazy big gains. And so I guess the point, again, Michael Burry, we had a Fed meeting in 2022, or maybe 2023. We had a Fed meeting. And Burry literally told everybody, sell at the Fed meeting, you know? And again, of course, like contrarians that watch The Big Short, that want to be the next big market crash predictor, you know, they came through and they made fun of bulls and they said, oh, Michael Burry said to sell, you know, and they brought it up. And so Michael Burry told everybody to sell ahead of the Fed meeting. And after the Fed meeting, the market ripped up huge percentages from it. So Michael Burry got upset. And completely deactivated his Twitter account. And then eventually apologized for it. Came out and said, hey, I'm sorry, I was wrong. You know, and so I guess the overarching point I'm trying to make is that just because seasoned traders say something doesn't mean it's true. I see a lot of big time YouTubers telling you every single week, if look back at some of the YouTubers y'all follow, some of them are posting the market's going to crash every week, and they have been for years. Like, they're just milking clicks from you. They're just milking clicks. Right? Like, that's all they're doing. They're just milking clicks. They're seeing what they can get clicks with. And again, one of the ways they're getting clicks is by telling you the market's going to crash every other week. And then when they're wrong, they'll literally, look, Apple's is what's dropping right now. So Apple is tanking. Look at this. Look at Apple down. Something's going on with it. Visa and MasterCard reach a $30 billion swipe fee deal with merchants. Bank of Canada, Rogers says Bank of Canada will be happy if productivity rate could rise around 1%. We had durable goods. What's the news on Apple right now? Is this Apple causing this drop? All right, so Apple is reportedly readying iOS 18 with home screen redesign and AI upgrades. Yeah, there's a couple YouTubers, like big time YouTubers with over 1 million subscribers, that literally every other video tells you the market's going to crash. You could go back and track it. You could look back. They'll literally be like, yo, the market's going to crash tomorrow. And then the market rips up like 5%. And then they'll hurry up and they make a bunch of other videos to kind of dilute the market, the wrong prediction. And then they wait and then they do it again, you know. All right, look at the market dump right now, though. So market coming all the way back down. I'm trying to figure out what this is. Okay, so China iPhone shipments fell 33% in February, according to state data, according to Bloomberg. That's what's causing this drop right now. This news right here is what's causing the drop. China iPhone shipments fell 33% in February. 33%. Yeah, so this is the news right here that's causing this dump. iPhone sales dropped 33%. I mean, China's not the biggest market for iPhones, though, to be honest. Like, iPhones are mostly a U.S. thing. Outside of the U.S., people mostly use Samsung. But yeah, this is what's dropping Apple right now. Yeah, what a big market crash here, guys. You know, dare I say it's ripping down? You know, if I say it's ripping down, people are gonna get upset. I'm still green on the day too, so you love to see it, but less green than we were about 10 minutes ago. Yeah, I mean the news's job is to get clicks, though. You know, and especially if you're watching, like, it depends on what you're watching. If you're watching political news, their job is to try to make the other side seem like they are the worst they could ever be, right? Both sides. So whichever side is in power, and this is very consistent, whichever side is in power, the other side is trying to make the world and the economy look like it's the worst that it's ever been in the world. Look how bad the economy is under this person. And it happens with both sides. So again, I'm not attacking anybody here. This is just objectively true. But if you get really wrapped up in it, you're going to act like, right now, to put it into perspective, right now the economy's not that bad. Unemployment's low. Economic spending is good. GDP growth is good, right? Like, that's what we have right now. But for whatever reason, you see people that really get wrapped up in political news. They'll come here and they'll be like, yo, we're in a recession right now. And it's like, no, we're not. We're not in a recession. You know, GDP's growing. You know, technical definition of a recession is 2 consecutive losing GDP quarters. Not even including unemployment, which is low right now. Recessions don't happen when unemployment's low and GDP growth is there. But for whatever reason, people just get really emotional if I say this. And it's just, that's the truth. That's the reality of it. I'm not saying things are great. I'm saying we're not in a recession, you know. Recession's different. Right now, we have more inflation problems than we do recession problems, you know, which is 2 different sides, right? Inflation means too much spending, essentially, causing prices to rise unreasonably high. And again, that's what we're struggling with right now. That's one of the reasons durable good orders negatively affected the market, right? Because they came in higher than expected. It's signaling more inflation problems. The market didn't like it, and the market dipped down some. Now, this is mostly from Apple, but still. Yeah, but just Joe, that doesn't mean we're in a recession either. Yeah, I think it's both political and financial news that causes it. I use 5-minute David mostly, but it varies. It depends. I try to isolate a time frame that seems to be working well throughout the day, and then target that time frame. But it depends. Yeah, stagflation is a genuine worry, you know, and I'm not saying we're not in a we're not going to hit a recession eventually. We're just certainly not there yet. And again, there's a big argument on maybe we won't hit one. It just depends, right? But just because you dislike the other political side doesn't mean you should just spew recession every other day. Like, again, it comes from people that fundamentally don't understand economics, right? Like, they don't understand what a recession actually is. They just know it's bad, and they know the side that they don't like is in power, so we must be in a recession, you know. But again, that's just not it. And again, I'm very neutral politically. I dislike both sides, but I think you got to look at what we're actually in. Which right now we're in a period of high inflation. You know, that's our problem right now. That's the bad guy right now is inflation. Not too little economic growth, which is what a recession and depression is. Apple bouncing back a little bit. So Apple has rebounded back some. It's back up to 170s. I mean, unemployment's 3.7% right now, roughly. It drops actually Friday. So Friday, unemployment numbers come out. Or no, I'm sorry. Friday, PCE data comes out. GDP shows up Thursday. So we have GDP growth Thursday. See, I built this indicator. Look at Nvidia. I might take it off the chart, but I mean, look, reversal, boom. Reversal, boom. Again, I'm not telling you to buy anything. I have no idea what I'm talking about. Let me remove this. You know what? Again, I'm very neutral politically. I just get tired of, like, I don't want to argue about politics with people. And if people just want to argue about it, like, I'd rather just talk about economics. And that's why everybody coming in here telling me we're constantly in a recession is just like, all right. DWC is moving up, though. I don't know much about the stock overall, but it is moving up some. Yeah, we got the Case-Shiller house price index in about 11 minutes or so. After the Case-Shiller, we got CB Consumer Confidence. House price index is exactly what it sounds like. It's a look at house prices. Case-Shiller house price index is expected at, it's a very small release. The 20 NSA year over year is expected at 6.6%. 6.6%. So it measures the change in the selling price of single family homes in 20 metro areas across the U.S. So again, stronger is higher prices, higher percentage means prices are going up more this year to year. Again, 6.6% is what's expected. We also have CB Consumer Confidence at about 106.9 expectation. It drops at 10 a.m. How do you feel about FDIC knowing which banks are next to collapse, yet they won't tell the public? Why? I don't think they can tell the public. Like, imagine, okay, because then it's going to be a self-fulfilling prophecy. If the FDIC comes out and says, yo, ABC Bank is going to fail, what do you think is going to happen? Regardless of whether it failed, regardless of whether it was going to fail prior to that or not, what do you think is going to happen? If it's public, people are going to start selling the shares. People are going to start withdrawing their money and moving, and it's going to cause it to fail, right? So they can't tell you, like, even if they know, they can't say anything. It would be a conflict of interest, and it would ultimately destroy banks, right? And then people would complain about that too and be like, oh, yo, the FDIC is crashing banks, you know, is what they would say. So again, it's kind of one of those lose-lose scenarios. I think it's probably the smart move for them not to say anything. Because if they did, then people are going to get mad at them for that, you know? Do you think we see 447 on the Q today? I mean, we could. I don't know if we will. Depends on the open. I don't know what the market's going to do at the open. I know we have CB Consumer Confidence data as well. I also know Apple dropped the market a lot from this report. So what do you guys think Apple stock will do? Well, it's dipped a lot on this report about sales dropping overseas 33%. It's still bounced back, though, and it's not the biggest drop in the world. So it is bearish for sure right now. But again, Nvidia is still green. Apple, you know, Apple a little red today. Tesla very green on the day though. So my advice for my dad was never put your eggs in one basket. Yeah, I mean, diversification is a powerful, powerful thing. And again, I think this is the biggest mistake most traders make. And it, like, listen, you can make money day trading. And again, if you want to day trade, you can check out Apex. They're a funded account program. They're a sponsor of mine. It's a way to limit your risk in the beginning. If you lose, they give you a demo. They test your skill. If you pass the test, they fund you. If you lose, you're only out what you pay for. The base one's only $35. If you lose, you're out $35. You still have some pressure because you're not risking nothing. You're still risking something. You're just risking much less. But if you're good enough to pass it, like if you pass the challenge, they fund you 25 grand up to $300,000 with a 90% split. So the reward is similar anyway. Again, use promo code BT. They are a sponsor of mine. Shameless plug. We just rolled seamlessly into that plug. Anyway, though, my point is, the problem is that people want to day trade, right? They want to day trade. But diversification is powerful. Like, you can day trade. What I do is I day trade. I also invest long term. I also swing trade. And it all depends on what the market gives me. If the market's pulling back heavy and I think we have deep extension on the downside, I'll buy up some blue chip stocks and ride it up for long term investments. If we have very short term drops in a stock from like earnings that I consider an overreaction in blue chips, I'll buy it up and hold it for a couple weeks, swing trading it. If we have very good trends on an intraday basis, I'll try to attack the trends and day trade it. And again, in my equities portfolio, the beautiful thing about stocks sometimes is that I can swing trade. If I buy Apple when it pulls back, 10%, if I buy Amazon when it pulls back 15%, and for a swing trade, if I'm wrong about those trades, I can sit on those stocks for years and almost certainly make money. And so if I'm wrong, I can wait. I can bag hold it, for lack of a better word. And if I'm right, I can take profit. You know, and that way it creates a win-win scenario. And, you know, most of the time you can only do this with blue chips though. So like you can't do this with penny stocks, because penny stocks, the longer you hold them, the worse they'll probably perform on average. But if you do this with blue chip stocks like Apple, Amazon, Walmart, Target, you know, I did this with Target a couple months ago. Target dipped down to $100. We bought it up. We sat on it. And eventually it bounced back to like 170s or something where it's at now. So just huge percentage gains on the upside. But if it didn't do that, we would have just sat on it. You know, Disney, we've done this a lot with Disney, where Disney dips down to 85, 90 bucks. We recently sold a couple weeks ago. But if we're wrong, we just sit on it long term. If you pick companies correctly and you diversify into many different ones, even if you're wrong about one, you know, even if you're wrong about multiple, if you diversify well enough and you sit on blue chips long enough, you're almost certainly going to make money. And like, that's the powerful thing about the stock market. It's the biggest, most profound edge the market will ever give you, which is that long term, the S&P 500, the Nasdaq are going to move up. They are going to move up. You know, ignore all the contrarians that are telling you a market crash is right around every corner. Now, I'm not saying we're not extended in tech right now, and I'm not saying right now is the most ideal time to buy. But if you dollar cost average over months period, like every month you buy X amount of shares or whatever, every couple months you buy X amount of shares, and your plan is to hold it long term for 5-10 years, you're almost certain to make money. And again, it'll allow you to keep up with inflation. These are all things that will ultimately keep up with inflation, right? If you don't keep up with inflation, if you don't hedge against inflation through investments like this, whether you want to invest in real estate, in gold, in the stock market, if you don't do that, you're going to lose money over time, because your dollars are going to get devalued through inflation, you know, and that's what the market's fearing. That's what durable goods orders showed us. Yeah, I'm out of Disney right now. I got out a couple days ago. I did buy the dip on Boeing and I lost and I got out. Boeing is a little bit too sketchy right now for my tastes here. So I bought Boeing at like 205. It dipped down to like 190s. I cut it and I'm just ignoring it right now. We're not going to win on everything. Right now, my portfolio long term, if you want to see it, and again, there are some speculative plays here. I'm certainly not telling you to buy any of this stuff. I use Rhythmic tattoos. Rhythmic is what I use with Quant Tower. So Quant Tower is on the left side here. This is a Rhythmic platform. But my portfolio currently consists of Apple, AMC, ARM, Alibaba, Citigroup, Chewy, Delta, Etsy, Ford, Gold, GameStop, Google, Home Depot, Honeywell, Coca-Cola, MGM, Microsoft, Nike, Oracle, Pfizer, Palantir, Snapchat, Snowflake, SoFi, SoundHound, Tesla, Tyson Foods, Unity, Walgreens, Walmart, and ExxonMobil is my current portfolio. And it's done me really well. I'm up, 5 figures in it. I'm up at least 4 figures in it right now. We made money on this portfolio last year. And we're definitely up this year. We're up at least 4 figures this year already too. So, yeah, we're growing, slow and steady. I like Rhythmic because I can use Quant Tower. Tradeovate's a web-based platform, so you don't have to download software. But I like Rhythmic. Apple almost all the way back up, almost flat on the day. Shouldn't he be using bigger size now? Bigger size in what? All right, guys, we got 1 minute before Case-Shiller data. I don't think this is going to influence the market in a heavy way, but maybe. But I don't know. Yeah, I mean, you just got a bunch of gamblers, man. Like again, a lot of people are justifying their trading through gambling, right? They're acting like they. Again, I've used this analogy a lot of times before, but trading and investing is one of those areas where gamblers, they justify their gambling. Again, you tell somebody you made 20K in roulette. they're gonna look at you like you're a degenerate gambler. You tell somebody you made 20K in the stock market, they'll look at you like you're some type of genius, you know. And so, but a lot of people are just straight up gambling. They're just throwing big money. They're addicted to the rush. I've known a lot of traders like this. Case-Shiller data dropped at 6.6% as expected for Case-Shiller. 6.6% as expected. But yeah, a lot of people are just justifying straight up gambling in the market. And again, you don't need to take crazy big size to make money. And again, the larger, like my TOS account's got 70,000 in it, liquid. We've got 6 figures in buying power. I'm not bragging. I'm just telling people, like, I have a fairly large Thinkorswim account, but I'm not trying. I don't need to make 10K plus a year. You know, I don't need. I mean, like, I'm not living off of my trading profits. I'm not claiming to. Because, again, this is my money. Like, I don't want to lose this money. I'm not trying to just gamble away this money. And, again, that's the problem with most gamblers is that they need the rush. They're addicted to that rush. They need to feel those butterflies in their stomach. And I just don't, man. I just don't. I'd rather trade slow and steady and have good odds and protect my money versus needing to try to double or triple. Again, the most elite investors in the world make 30% a year, you know. All right, so we got Case-Shiller data came out at 6.6%. We got CB consumer confidence data at 10. So all right, chat. So we had durable good orders drop. What's a good percentage to make on the year? 30% is good. You know? Again, you got a lot of people that are just putting out crazy unrealistic expectations. Like, the reality is, if you make 30%, you're elite. You know, but for whatever reason, you got a bunch of young kids telling you that you can make 5% every day if you just follow their trading system or buy their trading course. And it's a fugazi. It's unicorn dust. It doesn't exist. Like, nobody's making 5% every day. And if they did, again, Goldman Sachs would buy that system from them for $1 billion. You know why there's not a bunch of YouTube billionaires in trading? It's because they're full of crap, you know. Tesla. Yeah, Tesla's up. We're in Tesla. It's up a little bit. Nvidia back over that VWAP here. I think we could get a bounce. You know, we're going to play with this. We barely missed it. We're buying the top of the range, and so really what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to scale in down here. So we're going to try to scale in down here, and then if we start to break lows, we'll just cut it. So we'll limit our risk. And again, I'm watching Nvidia here. If Nvidia starts to go for a ride up, then that should be good for us. I made 10% in 10 days. I mean, and again, I always hear people like I talk about how much is reasonable expectation. I say, hey, you can't make 5% every day, right? And I'm not talking about you, not so boring, because you're just talking about buying Nvidia, right? So I'm not talking about you, but you get people be like, nah, bro, I made 5% yesterday, or I made 5% last week, and it's like that might be true, but it doesn't mean it's valid, and it doesn't mean it's gonna work. The larger percentage return you try to make daily relative to your account size, the more your account is at risk. And so if you try to make 5% every day, you might get away with it for a couple days gambling crazy big, you know. But what I always tell people is that eventually the check's gonna come. Like eventually, your whole account's gonna go bye-bye. You know, if you trade like that. If you try to make crazy big returns on a small account daily, eventually, like again, you might get away with it. It might even fool you into thinking you've got some wildly profitable system that nobody's just figured out yet, right? But again, I'm here to tell you that's almost certainly not true. And the more you try to do it, the more you're going to lose. All right, so we're slightly green on this position. We told you guys what we're going to do, which is add down to this level. We dipped almost exactly down to this level. We'll see if we get a bounce back up to retest those highs. Nvidia's over the VWAP. I'm trying to see if it'll hold, but I don't know. We'll add a little bit more. And we'll take up to 10 contracts here. Again, we're basically flat on the day. I'm just trying to take a little bit of risks. I got to grow these accounts. Again, I don't necessarily need to get funded or anything like that, but I do think I need to trade a little bit more. All right, so again, we're flat. Watch Apple here. Apple's a big influence over the NASDAQ. It's one of the heavier weighted stocks. It's like number 2, I think, under Microsoft. Oh, 10% per trade? Yeah, I mean, you're almost certainly not going to hold that. It depends on the year. In markets, though, it depends on the year. It depends on what you're doing, you know. All right, guys, we got about 22 minutes here. 22 minutes. Again, we do have CB consumer confidence data at 10, so be ready for that. All right, so there we go. We're slightly green. Let's see if we can just get a little follow through bounce. There we go. There we go. Just took half off, another little bit. We got 4 contracts left. We'll let the rest ride here. We've already made a good bit, so. $2021 got everybody trade experts. Yeah, you see it a lot, man. I mean, again, that's why I just try to be the opposite of that. Like, I try to tell everybody I'm not an expert. I'm not a guru. Like, I just try to be honest with people and tell people, yo, I'm not an expert. I'm not a guru. I'm not liable, you know. I kind of play the other side, which is just telling people I have no idea what I'm talking about. You know. We just took half off here, locked a little bit more in. Essentially flat on the day, heading into the opening bell. So maybe we'll get some good stuff, good action. I don't like the fact that Nvidia's Apple's dropping back down. I hope Apple can hold at the volume weighted average price. Same thing for Nvidia. Alright, so we are moving up a little bit here. I'm gonna lock that in. If we dip a little bit more, we might add to this, but we'll probably just hold on the rest. Alright, so we dipped down a little bit. We're gonna add right back at the spot. Take 3 contracts. Again, we're just kind of, or we'll take up to 4. I mean, we're just seeing if we get a bounce back up, a follow through. There we go. Got a little bit of one. Any thoughts on Lucid? Lucids are cool cars. I don't know if they have the consumer base to succeed, though. Personally. Again, personally, I don't know for sure. High risk, high reward. But yeah, I don't like them. I don't like the stock. I like the cars. Let me clarify. Alright, so we just took a little bit more off. 2 contracts left. Just kind of riding the range, to be honest here. People ask me what I do for a living. I tell them I drive Uber and DoorDash. I won't tell them I trade. They give advice how to trade. Yeah, I mean, I don't tell people I do YouTube either. Because I tell people I do YouTube, they either think one of 2 things. They think I'm like freaking Logan Paul out here, stopping random people on the street, interviewing them, or like doing prank videos or gold digger pranks. Or they think I'm unemployed, is what it is. You know, like they think I'm one or the other, you know. Usually what I describe it is I just tell them I run a marketing business. Alright, we're going to cut it. So we made our money, and we're green up with that trade overall. We'll just sit tight now. But yeah, again, I usually just tell them I run a marketing business. If they really ask questions, I'll tell them it's a stock marketing business, but it's the easiest thing to do. My wife has let it slip that I do YouTube. Like, my wife's trying to talk to, like, my daughter's friends, parents, and, like, you know, And so they're like, hey, what does John do? And all right, looks like we got out of that at the perfect time. And so my wife will let it slip, and then before you know it, we got some guy that wants me to promote his NFT program. You know, he wants to be a co-host on the channel, and like, you know, all of a sudden he wants to be my best bud. We're just the best of friends, you know, and yeah, it just gets weird. So I learned to just be like, no. Keep it really simple. All right, so there's a flush down. Apple under the VWAP, Nvidia dip. This is the reason we dropped just now is because of Nvidia, though. Nvidia under the 200 EMA. You do not look like a prankster. I don't know what a prankster looks like, but you're in economics, yeah. They need market psychology is something special. Drive a Polestar? Yeah, Polestars are cool. They're Volkswagen, right? Polestars. 10-year treasuries. I mean, they're up. 10 years up to 4.2%. I haven't seen the shorter term chart, but 10 years are up short term. At least this morning we're green. Tell them I work for Powell. Powell works for me. Again, Apple dipping down to 170s. That's what's kind of causing this drop. I don't know. I think I'm still in snow with a very small size. Let me see. Yeah, very small size. Polestar is just not a super liquid stock. I mean, it's not low liquid, but it's not high liquidity. It's not like Tesla or it's not like Nvidia or Tesla or something like that. It's somewhere in the middle. All right, guys, 12 minutes. 12 minutes. Again, we do have CB consumer confidence data. I don't know anything about Boyd Gaming. I really have no idea. I only invest in what I know, and I don't know BYD stock. Reddit's interesting. Yeah, the Reddit stock, recent IPO, you know, hit 60s, almost 70s, early. Or late yesterday, hit almost 70, got up to 69.46. So again, Reddit's performed really well. The market's right now dropping because of Apple, though. And again, this Apple news right below me, right here, is what's causing the dip for sure. All right, so we get Apple bouncing up. We do have some red action, though. You can see we did break underneath this major level. Nvidia, again, very flat, very sideways. We got about 9 minutes left into the market open, so it's a very slow day at this point in time. I'll be right back, guys. I'm going to go grab a cough drop. I'll be right back. All right, guys. What do I do with my headphone? Nah, man, I got sick a couple weeks ago, and it's still kind of lingering with me. I feel fine. Like, I was able to go to Jiu-jitsu last night, and I went to Jiu-jitsu twice yesterday. But for whatever reason, like, my throat is still kind of the stubborn part. And I think it has to do with my stomach, man. I gotta drink kombucha. Again, Apple trying to bounce a little bit. We'll see if we hold. Again, I'm going to wait till the open to day trade anymore. We do have CB consumer confidence data at 10 a.m. chat, so we do have that. I'm going to put a timer up. There we go. Bounce it back to this resistance level. Is there really? Yeah, but does it? So I know I see. So it's whooping cough is what it is. I'm not really coughing at all though. Like my cough is basically gone. It's mostly stomach related, I think. But could also just be allergies. But I don't know. Powell speaks again on Thursday. So yeah, Powell speaks on, or I'm sorry, Friday. Powell speaks Friday. Am I competing in jiu-jitsu? Nah, no. I don't really like gi very much, jiu-jitsu. I train gi at least a couple times a week. But I like no gi much more. No gi, I like it way more than gi. I'm better at no gi as well. Like I can hold my own in no gi. And you know, I've got some good subs that I can hit people with. I don't know very much, like all the subs that I know are no-gi subs, right? Like I can do them in both gi and no-gi, like anaconda choke, darce choke, guillotine is probably my go-to. My go-to is like start standing, I trap somebody and have them shoot in. Like I'll kind of stall long enough to have them get like frustrated and shoot in. And then I'll cinch up a guillotine, and when they try to roll out of it, I'll follow them into mount and then finish it from mount. It's like my go-to trap. I set it all the time, you know. And again, surprisingly, I can catch some higher belts with it. Like when I first roll with them, when they're not, they might be going easy on me because I'm a white belt, right? So I do recognize that. But I can catch some higher belt people with it. Once I catch them with it once, though, they know, right? And they'll never let me catch it again. So boost my ego at first, and then they just destroy me afterwards, you know. I did tap a brown belt the other day. I got him in an ankle lock. So that was fun. Highest belt I've ever tapped. Brown belt, so not bad. But I'm still getting owned if I roll against any blue, purple belt, you know. Most of the time. It just depends. I'll get lucky and catch a guillotine or something every now and then, but I just don't know if I'm good enough to compete. I mean, I'm top 3 greatest of all time ever, but, you know. Yeah, Reddit is what I'm watching at the opening bell. Reddit's right at 66 bucks. We got 2 minutes here, chat. Hey, good luck, Sean. Do you ever enter a spar not knowing the adversary's belt or experience level? Yeah. Yeah, I rolled with a UFC fighter a couple weeks ago, and it was no-gi, and he looks different now, right? So some of y'all would probably know who he was, but I rolled with him, and I didn't recognize him because his hair was different. He has short hair now versus he had dreads back in the day. Right, so I rolled with him, and it was no-gi, so I didn't even know his belt rank, right? And so I'm rolling with him, and he was actually really nice, and he just destroys me, right? And so after the rolling session, I was like, hey, what belt rank are you? He was like, I'm a black belt. And I was like, oh, okay. And then somebody else told me later, like, hey, this is such and such person. And I was like, oh, I used to watch you back in the day, you know? So it was fun. But yeah, it happens in no-gi a lot. Anyways, we got 30 seconds, chat. We got 30 seconds. Not Sean O'Malley. He's too recognizable. All right, chat, here we go. Yeah, DJT is popping up a little bit, but... All right, here's the open. Ouch. All right, chat, there's the opening bell. Watching Apple, watching Nvidia here on the right side. Apple starting to rebound up. Nvidia starting to dip back down. It's at 950s. We are looking weak here. Again, it's too early for me to trade really after the opening bell. There's a complete retracement on the NASDAQ back up, and you can kind of see it's partially due to Nvidia retracing back up as well around 958. Now it's back down. All right, we're at 958 for Nvidia, 958. Again, I'm going to wait a couple minutes, let things play out first. I don't want to risk getting in the really volatile couple candlesticks after the opening bell. I'm just too risky there. Sideways action really after the bell. We do have CB consumer confidence at 10, so just be ready. All right, so there's the rebound all the way back up. Nvidia's starting to move back up too. Again, we're still flat though. I don't really trust the direction yet. I'm gonna wait for at least 4 or 5 minutes to pass after the open before we start trading. All right, so we just bought one. I told myself I was gonna wait. I see Nvidia still pushing up, so I'm gonna just play a couple contracts here. See if we get a small little gain in the book, and maybe not. There's a quick candle breakdown here. Yeah, we're just gonna have to cut it. I should have followed my rules, but it's okay. Again, we're down like 60 bucks, so it's a pretty small day. I don't want to get too faked out at the open, so we're just trying to be patient. Green action coming through. I mean, everything looks pretty strong, but all right. So we did catch a gain on the regular S&P. So we made a little bit on the regular E-mini S&P, the S&P E-mini. We're up about 70 bucks so far. We caught the little bounce. We saw a lot of down wicks showing up, so we bought the regular E-mini. Yeah, DJT. Halted on the downside now at $65 a share. Crazy. GameStop has earnings today as well. Look at the NASDAQ ripping. Again, we say rip to describe short-term price action. If you complain about it, I'm going to ban you. Just giving you a heads up, you know. All right, so there's 5 minutes after the open. We got 25 minutes, chat. All right, so there's the Nasdaq starting to rip up. Well, too many people are complaining about it, and a lot of them are probably like trying to troll, so they're creating different usernames and then using that to try to like complain. And so yeah, we're just gonna nip that and just kind of, you know. Me using the word rip is what they're complaining about mostly. Let's watch a video, see if it bounces up or something. Market's starting to stagnate a little bit. Getting a pullback. We're going to let this hold. We have the support level here, so this might actually bounce a little bit now. We could try it. Take a couple trades here, 4 contracts. Start small. I think it's a little risky, though. Nvidia's right at the lows, so see if we fake out and bounce, but there we go. Caught a little bit. All right, so we just scalped that. Nvidia did bounce where we thought we might. So starting to look a little bit more like a head and shoulders, though. If you zoom out here on the S&P 500, does at least a little bit more. Although Nvidia looks like a short, but Apple is looking strong, and so but this looks like it might continue to break lows. So we'll see. Tesla? I see Netflix is down. Hey, Tesla's up to 181s. Looks good. Might take a little bit off. Cut a little bit, locked in profit on Tesla. Yeah, market's open. Boeing's down. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, chat. We appreciate it. Wait, where are we going? All right, so we still move it up a little bit, but Nvidia is breaking down, so I don't really trust this here, to be honest, in stocks. I'll take a little bit of a position here, 2 contracts, and maybe add up to 5 or 6, but there's 3. we just took some of it off. Gonna add to this position a little bit here as well, and then take some off of that, and then cut that too. All right, we're hitting the support level though, but yeah, there's Nvidia breaking down. I thought it looked weak there, and we were right. I don't know. Tesla's just ripping up. I'm not sure why. You got to be careful with me saying rip though, you know. Alibaba chair says they have made significant progress in the sale of non-core assets as part of capital management. Alright, so there's Nvidia bouncing at the previous closing price at 950. Reddit. Yeah, Reddit's testing highs at almost to $70 a share. I'm shorting a little bit here. We're just kind of playing with it. There we go. Well, we added to it, and we got a little bit of a lag, and then we retraced. Let's see if we can take some profit here quick. We are right at a support level, but that's all right. Yeah, we're gonna have to cut it. Too much. Still green over the last few trades, but just kind of poking around at this. We have a little trend that we could probably look at here. We do have CB consumer confidence. We might have choppiness leading into it. You know. Yeah, well, this trend might be breaking. I don't know. Nvidia's bouncing all the way back to the VWAP 200 EMA. So we're just going to cut this trend. I don't think it's going to be valid. We'll draw another one if it works. Reddit just ripped over 70s, up to 73s, almost 73s. Tesla now pulling back. Nvidia bouncing up some. So now we're starting to head back up. Again, Apple sideways, Nvidia trying here. 15 minutes before CB consumer confidence data. Again, if you haven't already, check out Apex. Apex is who we're using for this. So we're using Apex. Again, what Apex does is they give you a demo and they test your skill. If you could pass the test, they fund you. This is what we're day trading on today is Apex. And again, this is a funded account on Apex. If I lose, I'm only losing what I pay for it. And so it's very cheap. It's a great way to learn day trading, limit your risk, and you're still risking something. But the base one on Apex is only $35 a month. If you use my link, again, you get it for $35 a month. You just got to use promo code BT. And again, the great thing about it is they're going to give you a demo. They're going to test your skill. They've got tons of great resources. If you're good enough to pass it, you get $25K in funding with a 90% split. And again, I'm day trading essentially the QQQ price action. This is the same price action as the QQQ. You can see I'm even looking at Nvidia. I'm looking at Apple to do this. Again, really easy way to learn day trading with limited risk. And again, I still think most day traders lose money. And that's why you should use this, is because most day traders lose. Don't put up thousands yourself and risk that. Try this. Again, they are a sponsor. I'm biased. Remember, I am terrible at this stuff. Have no idea what I'm talking about. May be wildly wrong about anything and everything I say. But again, if you want to help support the channel, check it out. Use promo code BT. Beginner Trading BT. Apple breaking highs right now. We're getting close to the highs of the day. I'm going to short this. Even though Apple might drag it up a little bit, I still think if Nvidia comes down, it'll help. But we'll see. 3 contracts. Here we go. All right. Slow and steady. Short worked. AMD playing with your achy breaky heart, Connor. Honestly, young people probably don't even know that reference. It's an age test here. All right, chat. Hey, we have CB Consumer Confidence data, 10 a.m. Hit that subscribe button, chat. We need 4 subs to break 132.1 thousand. Ugh, man. All right. We got 10 minutes here. Yeah, they don't know Billy Ray. All they know is Miley. They don't know Jolene. You know? Jolene, you know. Reddit still up. Reddit's at 72s right now. 72s. We'll see if it hits 75s. It's just under. It hit highs of just under 75 at 74.9 for Reddit. You know, we got Apple on the top right. Let's put Reddit up for a second. Here's Reddit. Look at this move. Up to almost 70s. Or up over 70s right now. Again, very successful IPO for Reddit. Yeah, Nightbot is my friend. He's my homie. He's the other me. Just watching you, you know, waiting for you to slip up so we can ban you for life here in this chat. NASDAQ trying to hold sideways. I can't justify a position right now. It's too sideways. It's too neutral. All right, so Reddit pulling back to under 70s now. Let's take a look at Apple. Reddit did fall pretty quick. Apple at 170s. So Apple's still heading up. Apple's kind of helping the market stay neutral. If it wasn't for Apple, it'd probably be red just because Nvidia's falling down. Again, CB Consumer Confidence might change this. I don't know. CB Consumer Confidence is obviously a gauge on consumer confidence. It measures the level of that confidence has in the economy. if consumers are optimistic, they tend to spend more and boost economic growth. And so we might see something where we want lesser consumer confidence because that signals less spending and less inflation problems. Again, I'm not saying that's a certainty or definitive, but yeah, that might be something that we see here where higher consumer confidence is seen as a negative because of inflation fears. It's not a huge release. Yeah, so I mean, it's not like a crazy big release, but it's not a small necessarily release either. Yeah, we're covering GameStop earnings. All right, chat. Wait, we got 3 minutes or 7 minutes. I'm sorry. We got 7 minutes before this data comes out. Ugh. All right, guys. Whew. I gotta get up and stretch a little bit. All right. Sorry, Chad. I gotta stretch a little bit. I gotta sit up a little bit. Netflix bouncing up. Apple's still testing that 200 EMA volume weighted average price, previous closing price level. So again, we're right around that 200 EMA VWAP previous closing price level for Apple. We'll see if we reject here, we hold. Nvidia is now testing 950s. Not only is that a psychological level, but it's the previous closing price. It's the level at which it closed yesterday. So it's a milestone level. Let's see if it bounces here. Nasdaq starting to break down a little bit with that said, though. Tesla pulling back to 182s also. Reddit at 68s. Yeah, hit the live button next to the play button, chat. Make sure you're fully caught up on stream. We appreciate it. Again, data drops in about 4 minutes. So if you want to watch... All right, the Nasdaq at 18.5K. Look at the Nasdaq bounce. Look at Apple making another retest of that level, the 200 EMA and the previous close, the light blue line right here. Snow moving up, Netflix bouncing up some. Tesla still trying to hold a little bit, but we got CB consumer confidence data at 10 a.m. It's not the most influential report, but it's something. right, so it's, again, we are bouncing up a little bit here. Snow moving up. Apple over the 200 EMA. All right, chat, 2.5 minutes. Netflix starting to rebound, though. Trying to head back up. All right, Tesla dipping down to 181. It's about to run into the volume weighted average price. All right, chat, 1.5 minutes left before CB consumer confidence. The market is very, very, very flat. Very, very, very flat. I don't really think we have any other big data tomorrow. We have GameStop earnings today. All we have tomorrow is Wallen speaking. All right, chat, less than a minute. Netflix moving up, Snow moving up, Apple moving up, Nvidia moving up over the last 30 seconds. All right. All right, so my timer's a little bit early. We really still got 30 seconds left, 30 seconds. Yeah, Nvidia just hit VWAP. It's about to run into the 200 EMA. We are getting some strength show up. I don't know if this is good or bad for this report, but we'll see. All right, guys, 40 seconds. Expectations is 106.9. Again, maybe higher might signal worse inflation problems. Here we go, though. All right, NASDAQ is up there. And here's the report. Report's a little late. Waiting on the CB consumer confidence report. It's not out yet. We had Richmond Fed manufacturing shipments came in at -11, -14. Again, this is late. I'm not sure why they're so late on it, but they're late. Markets are moving up on it, though. Again, they're late for this report. It's not out yet. We've checked a number of different sources, and it's just not out yet. They dropped Richmond Fed Manufacturing Index, which is the lesser big report. Again, Richmond Fed Manufacturing shipments came in at -14. Richmond Fed Manufacturing Comp Index came in at -11. Richmond Fed Services, their CB consumer confidence, 104.7. 104.7. It came in way noticeably lower than expected. And again, as we thought, this might cause some optimistic signs regarding inflation, right? So we have more optimism regarding inflation. The more confident consumers are, the more they spend, and the worse it is for inflation. So a lower CB consumer confidence data signals bullish action in markets, probably from less inflation fears is what I'm guessing here. Less inflation fears, but a bullish look in markets right now. A bullish look in markets. Again, guys, we're going to go ahead and close it down. I got a meeting. I got to go to a business meeting. So I'm going to go ahead and close it down. But if you haven't already, subscribe, hit the notification bell. I appreciate it. Check out Apex. Their sale ends tomorrow. 80% off funded account challenges. The base one's only $35 for the 25K combine. It allows you to basically test your skill. If you're good enough to pass it, they fund you. And again, the great part is your risk is limited. If you lose, you're only out $30. You're still risking something. It teaches you how to trade under pressure. In futures, you can day trade the S&P, the Nasdaq, currencies, gold, silver. Patterns are very similar to blue chips, and you can really day trade index funds that are made up of stocks. And so it's a great way to learn day trading with limited risk. Apex is one of the most legit in the world. They paid out over $100 million. If you want to check them out, they are a sponsor. I'm biased. Understand this rule and use promo code BT. It'll get you the max discount at all times. BT, beginner trading. I'll see you guys later. Y'all be good. Love you all. Y'all be safe. I'll see you guys later on today for GameStop earnings, chat. I'll see you guys then. Good luck.